Okay. So good morning, everyone. We're going to start laying down and have your strap near you. We're going to play a little bit of a little bit with hips today, and so we're going to kind of get ourselves warmed up, get our legs warmed up, get our core warmed up, all the same usual stuff, and then we'll see where we go. So just have your strap along your side so that you can get to it easily. And come on down to your backs. Your legs can be straight or bent. Your knees can be bent if you would rather have your knees bent. But just start by centering your body and centering your mind and coming fully onto your yoga mat, right? As we come fully onto our yoga mat, we realize that for at least this short period of time, we can let go of the external distractions. Maybe turn our phones off, do all those things so that we can really be here in the present moment. So feel your breath as you take a nice deep inhale. Maybe you feel your back arch just a little bit as the chest rises out and you spread out in all directions. And as you exhale, maybe feel the back body move closer to the floor. Good. Staying with this nice, deep breath. And exhaling. One more here. And exhale. And if your legs are straight, go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama work, but it's just easier, better if your knees are bent, your torso kind of relaxes a little bit more. And you can take your feet wider on your mat, bring your knees to center if that feels good. So Dirga pranayama, right? 3-part breath helps as a focusing tool as we breathe. So if you could imagine the inhale moving from the low belly, the upper belly, and the chest all the way up to the collarbones, and then exhaling chest, high belly, low belly. And it doesn't have to be static. It doesn't have to like stop at each point, but it is an awareness of the breath as we draw it all the way up and then all the way back down again. And maybe your hands are resting on your belly just to get that felt sensation as well. So begin at your comfort level. As you take your inhale, feel it move through the low belly, the upper belly, and the chest really expanding out. And then exhaling, chest, mid belly, low belly. And again, just go at your own pace. It's almost as if you were sipping through a straw and you feel that first part of the straw filling and then the second part and then all the way up until you are drinking whatever that is in your cup. Try to fill the lungs, try to fill the chest all the way to the top. Take your deepest inhale that is comfortable and then let it all go again. Good, let's keep it going. Notice if you're tightening your jaw, especially at the top of your inhale. And if you are, just relax that. Good, 2 more rounds right here. Last one. Good, and then release that. Take your feet wide on your mat and just start to windshield wiper the legs. Let the knees fall to one side and then the other side, just starting to stretch out your hips. Maybe the arms come out to T position or cactus arms so that you start to feel a little stretch through the shoulders, through the chest. Just imagine this beautiful Sunday morning. You're here, you're doing your yoga. It's awesome. The next time your knees are over to the right, go ahead and pause there. Just let it hang. Feel the stretch maybe from your left knee to your left hip to the left shoulder, planting that left shoulder down toward the floor. Take a few deep breaths into the side body. Feel it into the side of your left side, maybe into the belly of the psoas. And then release, go to the other side. Both knees are over to your left. You're stretching through the right side this time. Your right knee to your right hip to your right shoulder. Taking a deep breath in, stretching out that deep psoas muscle. Good, and one more. And take both knees back to center. Take both soles of the feet together. Nice, easy, wide Baddha Konasana. Again, if the shoulders and the arms are comfortable, they're out at your sides or out in cactus pose. And then just gently rock side to side. Really easy. Letting one knee come to the floor and then the other knee come to the floor. Finding your breath. And then the next time you roll toward the right, keep going and let your left knee come to the right knee. So you're coming into a little twist. And then open it, go to the other side, bring the right leg across. You might feel a nice little stretch on the outer line of your leg. So along the iliotibial band, right? That long tendon that goes from your hip to your knee. And don't stay in the twist, just rock, just go side to side, but let the knees come together. Couple more here, getting the low back warmed up, getting the hips warmed up. Good, one more, both sides. And back to center, square your hips back to the center, grab your strap, take the strap around your right foot, and take that right foot up to the ceiling. Draw the shoulders back down to the floor. You're holding your strap, but don't overgrip, to let your fingers be soft here. And take your right leg out to the right, but just a little bit. I don't know, maybe 10% or maybe where the one would be on a clock face. And as you do that, take your left knee out about the same distance, just a little bit. And notice, right? Notice how that feels. Where do you notice it? Do you feel it more on the outer leg? Do you feel it more on the inner leg? And then go out a little bit further. Keep drawing the shoulders down to the floor. Your back of your neck is long, your jaw is soft. And go a little bit more. Notice that your left knee is going more to the left. You're going to come to a point where that's about it for your legs, right? As we stretch the inner thighs, soften the grip of your strap, try to relax. I find it easier to hold the strap closer to my foot. Some of you tend to keep it a little bit further away. Just see what makes the most sense for you. And then once you find your extension here, once you find your stretch, try to straighten the right knee if it's bending, and then lift your left foot off the floor. And you may find that you can go a little bit deeper, just a little bit, don't overdo. And feel the stretch in your right inner leg, right? All the way, for me, I feel it all the way from my shin through my knee, all the way up the inner thigh, right up into the groin. But the knee and the leg, right, are both pretty even to each other. I'm not letting one go down to the floor. And then squeeze them both back together. Release your left foot to the floor, release the strap, go to the other foot, go to the left leg. I'm just gonna scoot to the edge since I got a wall really close to me. So you're gonna start with your left foot up, your right foot on the floor. You're gonna slowly just come out a little bit. Check that out. Maybe notice what happens to the hips as that leg starts to slowly go more out to the side. I'm pausing every few inches just to see if something changes in the line of my hips or in the sensation in my knee, right? What's actually happening here? And then find your spot, find the place where you're gonna, where you feel a nice stretch, not overly, and then lift your right foot off the floor so that both knees are moving away from each other. Both knees are lined up. If you drew a string from knee to knee, they'd be about even with each other. See if you can get nice extension through the left leg, right? The tendency here is gonna want to be to bend the knee. If you need to, that's okay. But if you can, stretch it and strengthen it. And then soften the shoulders to the floor. Find your extension here. Tone the belly in and bring those knees together. Release. Take that strap back around your right foot, your left foot to the floor. Good. Leave your left foot on the floor. Really pin down your left shoulder. Take the right leg out to the right. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going until you're on your right side and that foot comes to the floor. Bring your left foot off the floor, just like we did before. Now we're kind of sideways. Extend the left leg up. Now we're in this weird sideways, laying down, wide leg, forward fold, right? Pretty strange. Take the left foot, let it come down to the right. Ooh, stretch out this outer left hip. Squeeze the heck out of your belly. Lift that left leg back up as far as it'll go, as wide as it'll go for you. Bend your left knee. Yep. And then pull on your strap to come back to center. Ooh, lower your left foot. Bring those knees together and release your right side. I'm going to turn around because I will not have room for that on my side. You're going to take the strap around your left foot. Right foot is on the floor. Here we go again. You're going to start to take the left leg out to the left. Nice extension through the leg. Feel the stretch, right? And then keep on going until that left leg comes to the floor. You're starting to lay on that left side. Lift your right leg. And just feel that, again, extension as we lay on the side. You're holding your strap. You're really working here. Extend the right leg up. Squeeze your belly. Slowly lower your right leg until it meets your left. Ooh, yeah. I feel a really nice stretch through this outer leg. Bend your right knee if you need to. Squeeze your belly, everybody. And then lift, 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 lift that right leg. Woo. Bend your right knee. Keep it wide. Pull on the strap. Come back to the center. Bring those knees together. Lower your right foot. Lower your left foot. And release your strap. How did that feel? Everybody breathe. Good. Last set here. Take the strap around your right foot. So a little bit different. So listen up. You're going to take your left knee and curl it over to the right. So you're moving it from your neutral position over to the right. Take the strap in your left hand and bring your right leg across until you feel a stretch. It's not going to take much, right? Ooh, so stretching out that iliotibial band, the outer leg, right, from knee to hip. It's an amazing tendon. It's a super strong tendon. It doesn't get a lot of blood supply, and it gets tight on most, if not all of us. So just try to embrace this sensation. If it's too much, take the leg up higher, but don't go lower. Just feel the sensation. Keep pressing your left knee toward the right. Your right leg is headed toward the left. Find your breath here. And then when you're ready, I want you to bend your right knee so that you are crossing your knees. Okay. Bring both knees to chest. You can let go of your strap. Bring the knees into your chest. And then just see if you can move one heel away from the other. So they're in the middle, and then pull them apart. Yep. Just squeeze the heels towards each other and then apart. So another way to think about that is to bring the shins together and then pull the shins away from each other. One more here. Squeeze them in and press them out to your level. Good. Grab your strap. It's still there. Release your left leg. Extend your right leg. Bring everything back to center and then switch sides. So I'm just going to raise my left foot, grab that strap, put my right foot back on the floor. And here we are again. Start with your right knee going across to the left, right? So there's your anchor point. And then bring the left leg across until you get a pretty sweet little sensation. The strap's in your left hand. It doesn't take a whole lot to get sensation right here. This is one of those you love it or you hate it stretches, right? Because you feel all that hip work going. So just breathe here. Just take a moment to find some equanimity, right? Find some like calmness in the storm. One of the things that yoga teaches us, right? That calmness in the storm. So find your breath. See if that sensation is lessening some. Just breathe. And then bend your knee. You can hang on to the strap lightly or not. So now you've got one knee on top of the other. Bring both knees to chest. And breathe. You can let go of the strap. You can draw the knees into your chest if you'd like. Feel that nice stretch along the left outer hip, probably for most of us there. And then same thing here, right? Little cow face pose warm up. So see if you can bring the shins closer to the center and then take them out. And bring them closer to the center. Ooh, and out. Good. Two more here. Squeeze them in. Press them out. Good. One more. Squeeze. And press them out to your level. Grab that strap again. Start to lower your right foot as you let that left leg go across and take them both up. Bend your knee. And straighten both legs. Holy moly. Good. Once your legs are straight, fire up the legs. Point those toes toward the ceiling. Dig into your heels. Squeeze your legs. Squeeze your glutes. Press your shoulders to the floor. Take the arms overhead if that's okay for your shoulders. Thumbs touch the floor. Squeeze the belly in. So imagine that you're in mountain pose, although a very rigid one here where everything is working, everything is squeezing. I'm pressing my feet into that imaginary floor. I'm pressing the low ribs belly toward the floor just to find alignment, right? Breathe, really activating the back body and let that go. Whew, good. Bring your knees to chest. Roll the knees to one side and come all the way up to a seat. Good. And breathe. Take my hair out for now. Oh, so in your seated pose, you might want to sit up on a blanket, right? Blanket or two, a pillow, whatever it is you normally do. But come into Janu Sirsasana. So your left leg is extended, your right leg is bent. If you need to more mirror that, then just follow visually which side I'm on for you. I'm gonna take this off. And feel your body, right? Feel what's happening. Maybe move the flesh out from the sit bones. Draw the shoulders, maybe use your strap here, maybe not. If you take the strap around your left foot, I want you to pull back on the strap to broaden the shoulders. My local folks, if they were with me on Friday, we worked a lot with broadening through the shoulders, right? Broadening through the chest, the back, right? Getting our big old hearts out there for everybody to see. So feel that ground through your left leg, press down through your sit bones, rise up from that place all the way up. Maybe give a good pull to that strap and maybe come forward just a little. Oh, tight legs today. Goodness gracious. Right. So we're just noticing how that feels. Notice how much you hold on to the strap. Try not to over grip and make your knuckles all white. So feel that, feel where this leg is. If your right knee is bent and that right knee hurts, you just bring that leg out a little bit, maybe a block under the knee, right? So wherever you are, and then hold the strap with your left hand, pull back and lift the leg up and breathe. So maybe your right hand is behind you, maybe you're lifting up. Otherwise, I want you to take the left leg out to the left. How does that feel for you? So we kind of played with this on the floor, right? Where were we on the floor? Maybe you lift your right foot off the floor and find a little bit of balance here. Squeeze the belly in. The knees are moving away from each other. You don't have to lift your right leg. Lower that right foot, slide the leg across, grab the strap with your right hand. Woo! Say hello to your outer left hip and breathe. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Good. Take it center, everybody. Slowly. You can hold the strap or not. I want you to use your hip flexors to slowly lower that leg all the way down. Take the strap off. Lift your right knee, step over your leg. Lift really tall. Engage the left leg as well. Left arm wraps around and let's come to a twist. Big deep breath here. And just feel that twist, right? Where is it moving from? Can the sit bones stay pretty even? And release, straighten your leg. Shake, 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 shake. Good. Other side, bring your left leg in, take it into your version of Janu Sirsasana. Remember, you can be way out here with a block under your knee. There should be no pain in the hip joints or the knee joints. All right, so lift up, grab your strap, take it around. Hold on to the strap, but don't overhold, right? Ground through the right leg, lift out of that space. Feel both sit bones on the mat and breathe. Little hamstring stretch, right? Finding your breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you're holding on to the strap with your right hand. You're going to lift that leg up. You can take your left hand behind to help with support. You can take it up to the ceiling for that little bit of a variation. Take the right leg out to the side. See where it'll go for you. Then see if you can lift. I'm too close to the wall. See if you can lift your left foot off the floor and your left arm goes up and you're finding this bizarre little balance pose, right? As we play with the inner and outer thighs. Whoo, yeah. And then lower your left foot. Grab the strap with your left hand. Take it across. Whoo. My hubby and I have been doing stair climbing and I feel it, especially in those hips, in the glutes, in that long ITB, right? Breathe, really get tall, get tall, get tall. And take it center. Strap, no strap, release that down. Lift your left knee, step it over. Lift very tall from those sit bones, wrap your right arm around, come into a twist. And breathe. That's it. Good. And release your twist, release your strap, release your leg. Good. And then come on back to the floor just briefly. Lay on your right side if you would, just so I can keep which side you're on straight or what side I'm on straight. You're going to lay on your left side. You can either have your head in your hand or or you can lay all the way down. I'm going to keep mine up for these little AirPod thingies. And then bend your knees so that they are at a diagonal from your hips. You're not straight out. You're down a little bit, like a little 45-degree there. And lift your top knee off your bottom knee, but keep your feet together. Feel the glute engagement, right? These are pretty classic, pretty basic hip strengtheners. So lift and lower, lift. Now, here's the key. One, don't roll back. Don't roll back into it, right? Because then you're not working the hip. Just find the point where it's going to not go any higher unless you roll back. There's your stop point, and then come down. Good. Just a couple more here. And lower down. Now, lift your knee, lift your foot, and then just try to take the knee up as if you would step down on your foot, right? And then lower that knee to the knee. Good. Just lift, but keep the left foot lifted and lift. So here is your internal, external rotation, right? And in yoga, this is really important stuff because we do all kinds of poses, mostly external rotation. And we wonder, why don't I look like that person doing that pose? Well, take a look at where your knee goes when you lift it. So I want you to lift and hold, and then bring your shin kind of parallel with the wall. There is your external rotation, and you probably feel all kinds of stuff happening in this outer hip, right? So just notice that for you. Maybe your knee is more pointed forward, right? Depends on how you're built. So from this location, take the leg straight up. Big deep breath, flex your foot, take it forward. Don't bring it to the floor. Swing it down to the front end of your mat. Turn your toes up and bring it up. Good, turn your toes sideways, bring it down. Don't touch the floor. Slow swing, hip strength, and up. We're only doing one more here. Turn the toes, bring it to the floor. Whoo, and slide. Turn the toes up, bring it up. Bend your knee, bring it back down to your foot. Bring the knee back down to your knee. Ah, lovely, lovely. All right, switch sides, everybody. So you are solidly on your left side. Your head is supported one way or the other. Maybe it's down, maybe it's up. Good, your knees are at that little 45-ish degree angle. Keep your feet together and lift your top knee. And again, go slow enough that you feel your end point before you start to roll. That's where the work is. It's as if you were maybe pushing against a little bit of a weight here to work that outer hip, outer glute. Find your breath. Smile. Who knew? You never know what you're going to get when you come to yoga class. Good. Press up. Good. The next time you press up, just pause and really feel the engagement out here without rolling back. Hips stay level. And then lift your foot off the floor. Feel that. And then dip down and up. But keep the foot moving, or keep the foot off of any contact, your top foot. Yep. So internal rotation, external rotation. It might feel completely different on this side, right? Because, and it probably should, I don't know if it should, but it makes sense that it would. You know, we're not identically symmetrical beings here. So just feel your rotation. And then the next time the knee is up, hold, see where the shin will go. Right? Notice there should be no pain. Stay sideways on your hip. And then bring that leg and straighten it all the way to the ceiling. Woo, press down through your bottom leg. Good support here. Lower it until it almost touches the floor. Swing it slowly. Turn the toes up. Lift up. Good. Start to turn. Almost touch. Swing it down. Turn it up and lift. So you could do this super fast, but you would miss all the work, right? All the awareness. Good. Last one. Reach it up. Turn the toes. Whoo. And lower. Good. Bring it up. Bend the knee. Bring that foot back to the foot. Bring that knee back to the knee. And release it as you come all the way back up. Right? Little stuff. It's amazing. The little stuff. All right. Feet out wide. Hands back to support. Windshield wiper those legs. Hopefully that felt okay. Okie dokie. You could do a bunch of those. We could spend a whole class just doing those, honest to goodness. But then you would all throw things at me from afar. All right. So let's release that fully. Come on to table pose. Maybe your blanket is under the knees. It might be a nice thing. We're going to be on the knees a little bit. So I would take the time to do that. And have your blocks right at the front of your mat where you can get to them nice and easily. And then come to table pose. Find your good alignment, knees under hips. Hands and wrists lined up with shoulders. Sorry, put my hair back up. And just go into a really easy cat, not too deep. And then a really slow cow pose. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Stretch your belly. Good. One more here, easy. And lift up. Good. And then find your neutral. Remember that little tiny belly crunch there. Take the right leg back. Lift your right leg. Tone your belly in. Find that pose. And I want you to just bend your knee, heel to butt, heel to hips. Squeeze it in, stretch it out. Tone the belly. Don't let the lower back sink. You know who you are. I know who some of you are. Breathe, press out. Press in. Last one. Hold it out. Now listen up. You're going to turn your toes to the side. So your toes are pointing to that side of your mat. You're going to slide your leg out till it's level with your hip. Lower that foot to the floor. Plant your foot. Walk your hands up and find gate pose. Good. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see what in the world I'm talking about. So when you're in gate pose, your left knee, left hip are lined up. Your right foot is either kind of sideways like mine is, or it's pointed straight out. My personal preference for my ankles is this way, so you can play and see. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Slide your right hand down your right leg lightly. Squeeze your belly and stretch over to that side. You should feel all this, getting a nice stretch. Watch for any hyperextension of your right knee, especially if your toes are pointing straight forward, okay, straight out rather. So find that breath. Good. Listen up. Take the left arm up. Take the right arm up. Squeeze your belly. Take your left hand to your hip. And then push into your left hip. Push hard. Slide that arm down until you think you have stretched just far enough. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor, but that's super deep. And I've been doing this one for a while and this morning already. So I'm warmed up here. You might be more up here, pushing that hand strong into your leg for the support that you're looking for. And then slide it up. Woo. Reach it up. Slide the right hand down. On the right side, you are not pushing down hard. You would never want to put pressure on that leg, right? Because the knee would be unstable there. Inhale, slide up. Last one. Left hand to hip. You are pushing in strongly. Reach, reach, reach. Nice. Slide it back up. All right. Reach those arms up. Exhale the hands back down to the floor. I'm going to turn sideways again. You're gonna lift that leg, slide it back, take it down, and shake it out. I know, I know, I know. Take the left leg back. Tone the belly in. Find your little core engagement. Lift the leg. Notice it, right? What's happening in your body? What's happening in your hips? What's engaged? What isn't engaged? Bend the knee. Reach it out. Bend it in, hamstrings, right? Hamstring strength, quadricep lengthening, thigh lengthening. Good, one more, squeeze it in, squeeze it out, and then turn your hip so that your foot points out. Reach that leg out and slowly lower it to the floor. Come on up. Again, I'm gonna just turn sideways so you can see. And breathe. Your right knee, your right hip, line it up pretty sweetly. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, left hand slides down the leg. Might be different on this side. Just see how it feels to you, right? What are we stretching? We're stretching that inner thigh. We're stretching the outer right side of the body. Tone the belly in and slide it up. Lift the left hand, right hand to hip. Slide down. Maybe it's better, easier, not better, but easier on this side to touch the floor. Maybe it's much harder, right? What's that side body doing? And slide up, reach up. Take the left hand down. Whoo. Good, stretch on this side. I can definitely tell which side on my body is tighter today. Slide up, last one, last side. Take the right hand down, press in hard, slide it down, whoo, stretch over, and slide up, reach the arms up, take both hands back to the floor, breathe everybody, lift that leg, slide it back, lower it down, holy moly, shake it out. I'm going to turn around again so I can get to my blocks. All right, so from here, super easy, just step forward, right leg, and take your blocks, take your hands on your blocks. Your blanket is on your knees, hopefully still, or something that just gives you a little bit of cushion. And you want to feel this stretch, right? This whole complex going on. You're not right on the kneecap of your back knee, so you're forward of that kneecap, so you're not stressing out the leg. And just notice, one, you're going to stay here and just stretch both legs. Two, you're going to bend your back knee and give it a good squeeze. Yep, just where you can, even if it's just barely lifted off the floor, your left knee down, but you're bending that left knee to get yourself a good little stretch there of the quadricep. Lower that down. Lift your left knee off the floor. Your hands are still on your blocks. Press both hips back, tone the belly in, begin to straighten your front leg. Right, just straighten that front leg. And I want you to really press your toes, straighten your right leg. Really press your toes into the floor. And then flex your foot so that you're on the heel. Good. Point your toes down to the floor and then flex. Good, one more here. Drop and point. Lift the foot and flex. And then lower. Bend your knee, lower your left knee, and simply switch sides. Taking it a little easy today, at least for the time being. So your left foot is forward, you've got nice alignment. Start by just experiencing the stretch, right? Just let the right whole front of that right leg stretch. The back of your left hip is stretching. We're just getting that feeling only if you want. See if you can lift your right foot off the floor, maybe bring it up nice and tight. Hello, hamstrings. I love my hamstrings. even when they're cramping. And release that foot. Lift the right knee off the floor. By the way, that lift is optional. I didn't say that on the other side. I'm sorry. But you can keep that knee down on the floor as you straighten your left leg. Check the hips, right? Those hips are nice and level. I'm pressing my left toes toward the floor. If they don't touch, don't worry about that. And then flex your left foot, stretch. And plant the foot and flex the foot. Good, one more here, plant and flex. And then release that foot, slowly lower your knee, switch sides. Almost done here. Right leg is forward, left foot is back. Whew. Nice. So stretching, you may know this, but stretching releases endorphins in the body. So we can get that nice little endorphin pleasure high kind of thing just by stretching. But we want to do that stretching mindfully, right? So we're here, and I want you to stay here or bend your left knee. Ooh, yeah. Feel that your left hand stays on your block. And I just moved my left block forward a little bit. As I drop into the hips, reach the right arm forward, lift it up, follow it, follow it, follow it. Really open your chest. Maybe you find that foot, maybe not. Right? Big stretch for the quadricep. Big stretch. If you don't touch your foot, you're just reaching back here, wherever you are, right? This isn't about what you can do compared to what I can do, compared to what anybody can do. This is about trusting your body to do what it can do today. Good. If you're holding the foot, release the foot, hold. Release your hand back to your block, square those hips, release the leg. Good, flip your toes under, lift your knee. This is optional, you do not have to do that. Your left hand stays on your block, your right arm follows the side of your body up until that arm comes up. Nice twist here. Breathe, how's the legs feeling? Right, firing them up, feeling your breath. And release it down. Lower your left knee, bring your right leg back and switch sides. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is slow down, right? We slow down, we go deeper, right? We work the muscles more. So it's very, very interesting. We could flow and not feel anything. So we start with the stretch, and that's maybe where you stay. Otherwise, you bend the knee. See where that will go. Maybe you point the toes, which adds a whole nother element to that stretch. So one, you're here. Two, your right hand just moves forward a little bit, just gives your torso a little bit of space. Take the left arm up, follow it, follow it, follow it. It helps open up that shoulder chest. Maybe you find your foot, maybe not. Breathe. Oh, for me, this is a good stretch, but it's a bit of an intense stretch. I'm really monitoring how deep I go so that I don't go too deep. Just breathe. Good. If you can release your hand, keep the leg for a second. Let your hand come back to your block. Release that leg down. Flip your toes under, lift that knee off the floor. Fire up your legs. Your right hand stays on your block. The left arm comes up and you get a nice twist here. Find your breath here, everybody. And release that hand, listen up. Walk both hands forward. If you have a blanket on your mat, I want you to be careful. Press down into your blocks to push off, to come to a forward fold, and just breathe. That's it. And then from this position, I want you to walk your blocks as far forward as you can, straight arms, but your feet solid on the floor. So you're not lifting off your heels at all. And then pull back on your blocks until your blocks tilt and you're leaning just on that bottom edge of your blocks, but you're pulling your elbows to your sides, right? It's not going all the way to your sides, but you're pointing your elbows toward your body. Your torso is lengthened, your shoulders are nice and broad. Breathe. And then lower your blocks. Walk them back to where you were. Bend your knees, everybody, hands to knees, and come on up. Holy moly, right? I know, good. And if you have something on your mat, take it off your mat. Take your legs wide on the mat, shake it out. Find your breath, maybe roll out your shoulders, right? Get a little funky, right? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goddess. Good, and again, inhale. Exhale, squeeze down, getting super warm now. Exhale, good. Next one, we hold. Inhale, up. Exhale, hold. So what are we working again here? If you think about everything we've been doing so far, here's your stretch, right, of those inner thighs. But at the same time, you should be engaging the backside, right? Because this can't stretch if this isn't engaged. Same thing, if we brought our knees in, be super careful if you do that. You're stretching the outside and working the inside. So breathe. Belly is toned. You're sitting heavy in your heels, right? Arms come to cactus. Squeeze your belly. Mindful again, you're going to tilt to your left and see if your elbow will touch your thigh, and then stretch your right arm overhead. Big deep breath. Stay in the legs if you can. Bend your right elbow to cactus, center, other side. And stretch. Oh, I know, I'm feeling it too. Bend the elbow, come up. One more, both sides. This is what happens when we stay, right? When we stay, we feel it. And up, and to the right, stretch the left arm. Oh yeah, my legs are going. What are you doing? Cactus, stand up. 5-pointed star. Just breathe. Release those arms, roll it out, heel toe those feet back together. Well done, everybody. Come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Bend the knees, step back, right foot. Hold your lunge, either high lunge or low lunge. Your hand can be on a block or not. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up. And breathe. Good, circle that hand down to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, first dog today, right? Come to plank pose. Fire it up, lower your knees. Give me a belly crunch. Come on down, chaturanga. Nice low back bend, super low. Press into your knees and your hands, push up. Plank, down dog. We've been doing that one for a while. Good, lift your right leg. Step all the way through. High lunge or low lunge. Left hand stays on the floor. Take it up to your twist. Big deep breath. Lower that hand to the floor. We got one more. Step back, down dog. Big deep breath. Plank pose. Knees down. I want good chaturangas, everybody. Slow, 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 slow. Release to a low back bend. Push into your knees and your hands to make yourself do a little push-up. Flip your toes under, down dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees. Hands to knees. And come on up. And roll it out. Good. So we're going to start with an easier balance pose. And then we're going to bring it up a notch. So let me get a little sip of my tea. You might, balance folks, be near a wall or something. And it's nice to have my little Buddha right next to me. He's not there. He's there. No. All right. So stand really tall. I never know, right? Is it disrespectful to stand right in front of it? So roll your shoulders. Stand in a solid pose. Hands come to hips. From here, just turn your left foot, or turn your left heel in and your knee out and pause. And then bring it back in. Turn it out and in. Here we are again, right? Hip rotation, external rotation. Bring it out, pause. Now, where did your hip go? If I push this left knee all the way out to the left, my hips went with it. I want my hips to be squared, tree pose. So my knee just goes where my knee goes. And then take that foot to your right inner leg. Don't lift yet. Woo. Tone your belly, stand tall, slide it just to your shin. So those of us who can do tree pose all day long, this is harder, right? You can see me wobbling all over the place. Push your shin into your foot, push your foot into your shin, square your hips, but purposefully, isometrically pull that left knee out to the side, but don't let it go. Just keep the hips squared, right? Feel the back hip engagement, the back glute engagement here. I am just amazed. I'm wobbling all over the place. Breathe. Bring the knee back to center and let go. Same thing on the other side. I want you to get that sense. A lot of times in tree pose, we think we have to be way out here. And we don't. We want to follow the hips. All right, so same thing. I just want you to swivel that foot, heel in, knee out, and just swivel a few times. Where does it go? Right? Everybody remember the twist? Right? Swivel it out, pause, and then bring it back. Last time, swivel it out and pause, and then check out the hips. Right? Immediately, we're going to re-square those hip points forward. We're going to really engage the standing leg, press into the floor, and just bring your heel, your foot to the inner lower shin. And then play with toning the belly in, pushing your shin to your foot to your shin, and isometrically trying to pull the knee out without letting the hip follow. Easy though. What I want you to feel is mama boot, right? Mama butt over here, just trying to get toned. Bring the knee in, let it go. Shake it out. So tree pose, where do you go? Strong standing leg, no sassy hips, right? Everything scoots in. Turn the foot out, pause. Maybe you're low shin, maybe you're up toward the knee, watch heel to knee stuff, or maybe you're all the way up to upper inner thigh. But once you're there, squeeze everything back to center. Maybe your hands are to your hips, maybe your hands are to your heart. Even if your hands normally go up, I want you to just pause at the heart. And just feel what's happening, one, to your standing leg and to your bent knee. Your hips are squared to the front. Your knee is where your knee is going to go based on your physical ability to externally rotate. And that's determined by where your hips, where your femur bones join your hip bones, okay? It's not about ability. Find your breath. Maybe the arms come up. Tone your belly. Breathe. Take the arms to cactus. Open the chest. And release. Shake it out. Other side, mountain pose to start. Solid, solid legs. No reason to go further until you feel this part of you working. Hands are to your hips maybe. Externally rotate the leg. Take it to your level. Immediately feel both hips engaging. Hips are centered, but that knee is pressed out a little bit more, right? Hands to heart. Tone the belly in. Try not to over scrunch your toes. Find your breath. Maybe you raise the arms, maybe not, right? Every time you move your arms, especially away from the body, it takes your balance a little bit more challenged. Deep breath. Cactus arms. Maybe you smile. When I'm really focused on my balance work, I don't smile. Breathe. And release. Shake it out. Good. Grab your strap, everyone. I want you to step on your strap with your left foot. And then you're going to hold that strap with your left hand pretty tight. You might even circle that strap once around, but not overly tight. Good. And then bend both knees just a little. You're going to figure out what is it going to take to lift that left leg just with a bent knee up. So right hand to right knee, as you push into your right foot, I want you to lift your left foot off the floor. Maybe you grab closer to your strap. It's going to depend on your hamstrings. Find your body. If you want to go back to tree pose, go there. If you want to stay here, stay here. Take the leg straight out. For me, again, the closer my hand is to my foot, as far as holding the strap, the more stable I feel. Slowly take it out. We did this laying down. We did this sitting. Woo. Breathe, squeeze the heck out of your standing leg. Take it center. If you can, switch hands. Woo, take it across. Smile. One hand to a wall is a wonderful thing. Come center. Hold the strap. Slowly lower your leg. Oh, I know. Switch sides. Balance poses. Some days we have good, solid balance days. Sometimes we don't. I don't worry about it anymore. I do what I can do. Some days I'm rock solid. Some days I'm all over the place. Some days I can't hold a balance to save my life. What are you gonna do? All right, so hold on to that strap. Bend both knees. I feel like you're growing out of the earth here, right? So you push into your left, whoop, as you raise your right. For me, I grab closer to my foot because the strap feels more stable. Take the leg out. Any amount here. You can tap down as much as you need to, touch a wall if you need to. Squeeze the standing leg. Take the right leg out to the side. The arm, opposite arm can mirror, right? Balance work. Take it center. Woo. Switch hands. Take it across. Thank you all. Find your breath. Tone your belly. Bring it center. And slowly lower it down, or not so slowly. You can tell, right? Left leg is not as stable balance as my right. Good. Drop your strap. Take your legs wide on your mat again. Come into a nice forward fold here. Deep hinge of the hips, softness behind your knees. The hands are on the floor. Tone your belly, watch your low backs here. Those of you know, right? But as you stay neutral in your torso, your lower back should be okay. It's the rounding that tends to really aggravate. So maybe you just soften, soften, soften. Big deep breath. Good. Plant the hands. Walk the feet in enough. Some of you are going to be able to do this. Some of you aren't. Just bend the knees and come on down. And then I want you to find a way to sit. If you can, I want you to sit back in hero pose. Now, I know not everybody can do that. Some of your knees won't allow that bend. One option is to take a block under your hips so you're not bent as much, right? So go where you can. If there's no way, no how, then I want you to sit in an easy pose. And just pause for a moment. I don't know if it's good or not good, but I'm trying not to shy away too much to things that are uncomfortable, you know, whether it is physical or mental or emotional, to not shy away from it, you know. So I have knee stuff pretty regularly. Sometimes it's just discomfort, sometimes it's pain, depends on what I do. And I quit doing a lot of this because I know it hurts. But then I started doing this and it doesn't hurt anymore. And so I think the more we limit to a point, the more we can create the situations we're really trying to avoid. So if you're like excruciating here, you should not be here. If you can find a little spot to sit with it, then stay for a moment and breathe. You know, yoga is always about life. And if we can sit with the discomfort in the physical body, can we sit with the discomfort emotionally, mentally, whatever else is happening? All right, so come on out, come on off of that. Just lean to one side and come on out and flex and point your feet. Just shake out those ankles if they were under you for a little while. And then grab your block. We played, or actually grab both blocks. We played with this once before, and I wanted to get back to this because we're gonna kind of move toward the end of class with a little bit of core work before we come on the floor. And I loved this that I learned from my friend Deb. So your blocks are up high and you're gonna put your heels on your blocks and then sit up really, really tall and find this variation of boat pose. So the arms come out. Now, if this feels really unsteady, take the hands behind your thighs instead. But shoulders roll back, chest is nice and wide, lean back, find your core. You don't have to go super far, right? There's the core engagement right there. Chest is lifted. The fingers aren't screaming, they're just extended. And we breathe and feel that work, right? We don't have to go all kinds of crazy with boat pose. We can get the core work here. Maybe lift one foot off the floor, off the block, and feel that. Maybe lift the other one. There's your boat. Bring one heel back, bring the other heel back, and come on up. And breathe. Good. Take your heels off the blocks, lower the blocks to the second level. Bring your heels to your blocks. Lift up nice and tall. Lean back, find the core work. Arms are out. Remember, optionally, arms are here. Find your breath. Whew. Lift one heel. Lift the other heel. Breathe. I should tell you a funny story, but I can't really tell it to you while I'm working this hard. So hang on and lower them down. Oh, and roll over. So we don't have a dog. We don't want a dog. We like dogs well enough, but we don't want a dog. But we've been watching these dog shows lately on Netflix and Amazon about dog training. And this one show, the owner teaches, or the trainer teaches the owners to get the dog to focus, sit, stay. Focus, sit, stay. I've been meditating with my husband and having one hell of a time with it. It's making me like so crazy. So this morning, I'm meditating, trying to meditate. My mind's all over the place. And I said to myself, focus, sit, stay. It kind of worked. I stayed longer than I normally do without wandering. So I just, every time my mind would wander. So I've turned into a dog. What they do call it puppy mind, right? All right, lower your blocks to the lowest level. Lift up nice and tall. I didn't tell my husband that, but now he knows because he's watching. Arms out, shoulders nice and wide. Lean back, find your core. You can stay right here, right? There's no reason to go any further. Lift one heel, maybe, right? Lift the other heel, maybe. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the belly. Maybe the legs straighten some. If that feels unstable, bend them, right? Think about your purpose here. My legs are shaking like crazy, right? Whoo, working core. Good, lower one heel, lower the other heel. Roll over those legs and just stretch. And breathe. Good, and release, everybody. Just set the blocks where you can get to them super easy. We're gonna do one final thing. I'm gonna be running out of time here really quickly. I want you to take your legs straight out in front of you. Some of you may be on a blanket already, maybe even a folded up blanket. So I was started out with variations of cow face legs, and we're gonna come back to that. So I want you to just lean back on your hands and cross your right leg over your left. So all you've done is cross your knees. And then maybe move the heels of your feet away from each other a little bit. And then start to bend the knees. If this is already hard or already feeling funky, I want you to take one block under your bottom thigh. Let me turn sideways here. So just put it there so that your bottom leg doesn't have to work so hard. But then see if you can separate your heels one away from the other. Good, so maybe your bottom leg is supported by a block. Maybe your top knees are supported by a block, right? One way or the other, just so that you can hang out here in this variation of cow face legs. So one, you're here. Two, if your hips externally rotate easily, then you can be here with no blocks, or you can start to walk the heels back toward your hips and lower the knees. Things to know: if your heels are closer to your hips, it's easier, okay? If you can already cross this way, this is a little easier on the hips. If the feet are out more to the sides, it is a deeper stretch for your hips. You may have no block under, but one block under the knees in front, just to give you a little bit more height. So wherever you are, and you may be here, I'm giving tons of options here. You might be more knees separated here or even here. Okay, so find it for you. Take the time to find it for you. Flesh out from the sit bones, snuggle down into those sit bones as best you can. Just feel the sensation. We've been doing a lot of sensation work today. Find your breath. If you're not leaning back with the hands, if you need the hands, stay. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back. Take your right arm out, internal rotation. Reach behind your back. Maybe your fingers touch, maybe not. Don't force it. If your head is down here and your chest is collapsed, separate the arms more so that your torso can stay upright. And just breathe, everyone. Maybe smile, right? We are releasing endorphins like crazy. So let them flow. Just breathe. Find a way, even if you are cross-legged, just notice which knee is up top or more forward. Okay, don't give up on the pose. Breathe. Good. Slowly release your hands. Reach the arms up. Exhale, then back down. Lean back, and then just walk your feet out until your legs are crossed again in front of you. Release your right, cross your left. Same thing. You might just be slightly bent. That's okay. Walk the heels away from each other. Start to bend the knees. Cushion, blocks, do whatever it is that you need to do, including separating the knees. As you walk the heels back, you can lower the knees to the floor or put a block under the knees. This is a really nice version. This just feels comfortable, like there's not a lot of stretch there for me, but for some it is a wonderful little accessory tool to help you get into cow face. And then remember again, heels closer to hips is less stretch, heels further away, more stretch. Sit tall in your body and just feel it. What is the sensation here? You know, we delineate between sensation and discomfort and pain. Pain is the body's way of saying you have to make another choice. Discomfort, I'll sit with discomfort and explore it. Sensation, I'll sit with and explore. All right, take the arms up. Bend your right arm, pat yourself on the back. Take the left arm out, internal rotation, reach behind. Maybe the hands touch, maybe they don't. Maybe you close your eyes on this side. Maybe you soften the legs. Maybe you soften the tension in the legs. Big, deep breath. Just let it go. And release the hands. Shake it out. Lean back. Just slide the legs forward. Undo the legs, shake them out. Good. And then take your blocks on either side of your knees. And I think it's just going to be easier. We're working our way to Shavasana because we're about out of time here. So I want you to lay down and then soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, fully supported by your blocks. So even if you are super flexible and can lay in Baddha Konasana without a problem, I want you to use the blocks, because in Shavasana, in any form of Shavasana, we want total release, total relaxation. And if your knees are just hanging, right? If they're just hanging in space, your body is going to stay on alert. So allow your body to totally go into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, happy endorphin, dopamine world. And, and just, I'm really into my science today. So just find your body starting to settle back into your mat. And as we move into Shavasana, you can stay in this restorative Baddha Konasana, or you can get to a place where you release and straighten the legs. But then close the eyes. Soften the belly. Maybe you do just a few rounds of that Dirga Pranayama, that 3-part breath as you sip up through the body and you let go. It's like a wave moving up and then back down. One more here. And let it go. And then scan the body for any remaining tension. Let go. Soften the jaw and the chest and the belly and the legs. Let the legs be ever so heavy on the blocks. Soften the shoulders. And if at this point you would rather have your legs straight, you can even try just letting the blocks rest under your thighs, which is a really nice way to go. Hips to the floor, blocks on your thighs or on your blocks, your feet are on the floor. And as you stay in Shavasana, if you find your mind wandering, maybe you focus and stay and tame the puppy mind. Feel the waves of breath. knowing that you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you would like. As you're ready, start to find the edges of your body, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Deepening your breath as you draw your knees to your chest. Rolling over to one side and very slowly pressing all the way back up.